now 7:31, and I'm officially opening the Zoning Board of Appeals August 19th, 2025 public meeting. And the first items on our agenda is the meeting minutes. We've got 3 sets of meeting minutes. Ian, could you put the first set up?
Absolutely.
Oh, wait, I need to do a roll call because we're not all here.
There you go.
So acknowledge if you're here. Mark White.
White, present.
Michael Toops.
Michael Toops, present.
Sean McCormick yet? Hearing none. And Than is traveling, and he's promised he's going to check in case we need him. But right now we have enough to open the meeting and do the minutes. So we've got the first meeting minutes up. And this is the executive session meeting minutes. Mark or Michael, I've read them. I have no objection. Do you guys have any amendments to make?
Nope. Make a motion to approve the March 27th meeting minutes.
Second, Michael Toops.
Okay, moved by Mark, second by Michael. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mark White.
White, aye.
Michael Toops.
Michael Toops, aye.
And Mark Barbadoro, aye.
Of course, I wasn't present at that meeting, but I can approve minutes.
You can still approve them. Crazy as it may sound.
All right. This is June 3.
Okay, June 3rd, 2025. Let's see. This is the one. This is the one across the street from Mark.
Yep.
Okay. I read them.
Stop having hearings for places that are close to me.
Say that again.
You guys gotta stop having hearings on places that are close to me.
Hey, those are the easiest kind of hearings. I recuse. So on line 91, I have a change. No, I'm sorry. It must be the other set of minutes. My mistake. So this set I was okay with. Do you guys have any changes that are needed?
That was all 975 Mass Ave. Let somebody else make a motion to approve them. I'll vote them.
Before we do, I'm just going to read around line 91 to make sure I don't want to miss it, even though it's just it's a spelling issue. But nope. Okay, I'm good too. So, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved, Michael Toops.
Mark, will you second?
No, I'll let you second.
Second. Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none. Michael Toops.
Michael Toops, aye.
Mark Barbadoro says aye, and Mark White.
White, aye.
Okay. Now let's try this one at line 91, just in case I feel like I'm losing my mind here. Well, what little there is of it. It's the car accident.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Property. Was it not handled property or properly in the past? I think it's properly.
2 bonus additions to the property. No.
It was not handled properly. It was not handled properly.
Line 91. Yeah.
Yeah. So I found it. Is there any other recommended changes?
Hold on.
Michael, you good?
Yeah, I'm accurately shown that I was absent that meeting, and I'm glad to see I was not railroaded.
We were going to appoint you as the chair, but
I was afraid of that.
all right. Well, I found it, so I'll make a motion to approve as amended.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Michael Toops.
Michael Toops, aye.
Mark Barbadoro says aye. Mark White.
White eye.
Okay. Those are our minutes. Let's see what else we got while we wait for Sean. Sean said he'd be a little late, and Than said even though he's driving, hopefully he won't be looking at the screen, but he'll phone in. Let's see.
Well, you can open the 7:35 public hearing because you're going to continue it, right?
Yeah, but I was looking at the agenda to see if there's anything not timed on the agenda that we could do. But if it's if everything has a time, we will jump into the. Actually, we can vote to continue it with a 3-person board.
Right. You can also talk about the Civic Academy if you want.
Oh, wait, we can't continue it without one of the other guys because you're recused.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Even on a continuation.
Yeah, I don't think you should be voting to continue even.
Yeah. Okay.
They'll probably sue you. They'll be mad at you if they don't get what they want.
Got it.
Hang on one sec. I'll just pull up my agenda. I forget where it went. There it
We'll
is.
be killing some time here if we continue that hearing because the next one's 7:45. We can work on the rules and regs.
Well, let me check the clock here. Yeah, that's something. Next time, Ian, we should probably not put the rules and regs on any time. Just put it like right at the front with no time, and we'll just pass over it, and then we have filler if we need it. But I think
do it because it's a hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on a time schedule, so we shouldn't hear it before.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that in mind, anybody have Sean's number or Than's number?
I got them both. Hold on. Sean. Let me ping Sean.
I actually think Than might be the more likely one, even though he's traveling. Because all we need is a continuance, you know. We need a 3-person board for a continuance.
All right, let me try Than.
And Dean, do you have a date in mind for that?
Yeah, that's another thing that we were hoping to get to. I mean, I can talk about it while we're waiting to hear back from either of them. So our next meeting, we don't have a definitive date. There were a couple that floated around, specifically the 3 middle dates of September. So skipping that.
Everybody agreed on every date except the 9th.
Yes.
So I'm the only holdout on the 9th because it's my birthday. So.
So the 2nd was the day after Labor Day, and that we don't need to discuss that any further. But the 16th and 23rd both worked for us, noting that's the 3rd and then 4th Tuesday, respectively, for kind of a weird month for everybody's meetings, as September 1st, Labor Day, is the first Monday. And I did reach out to Attorney Adam Costa in regards to an executive session that's been requested. He said that Tuesday, September 23rd would work best for him. So if we're pinging one date for September, I would recommend doing September 23rd.
Well, I would prefer not to have 2 meetings if we can help it. So does the board agree that we'll do the date that Adam can, which is what, the 23rd?
Correct, yes.
I don't think it matters to Mark because he's not going to be at it anyway, but Michael, do you care?
I don't think I'm double checking my calendar. That's September
23rd.
23rd. Get to September 2nd. Well, that should be fine.
Okay, so if we get Sean or Than in the next coming minutes, we'll suggest the 23rd and see if they can do it. Oh, Than's here.
Hey.
Nice.
Good job.
Thanks, Than. You get the good guy award for this meeting.
Noting for the minutes that Than Stunts has joined at 7:42 p.m.
Thanks, Ian. Than, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. You hear me?
Okay. So we have we're going to have a 3-person quorum to continue the 975 Mass Ave because they requested a continuance, and we're suggesting September 23rd because the 9th is my birthday and the 2nd is day after Labor Day, and Adam Costa said that he could do an executive session that night, so that way we'll only have one night that month instead of 2. So that works for you as well.
Yes, that works for me. I can do the 23rd.
Okay, great. So, shall we put that? What do you think? 7:35, Ian?
Works for me.
Yep. I was going to suggest either the very beginning or very end. So if you guys want to do it at the beginning, that works for me.
Okay. So
I actually won't be in attendance there, but that's neither here nor there. But
okay, no problem. So I'll entertain a motion to continue the 975 Mass Ave special permit application to September 23rd at 7:35.
Michael Toops, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, moved by Michael, second by Than. Any discussion? Hearing none. Michael Toops.
Michael Toops, aye.
Than Stunts.
Than Stunts, aye.
And Mark Barbadoro, aye.
Mark White recused.
And Mark White's recused. Thanks, Mark. So we have, we're a minute away. We're about to begin the 7:45 p.m. Swanson Road. Is the presenter here?
Just from Sean, I'm going to be late. I'm in front of the Acton Planning Board tonight, and the project in front of me is taking forever.
All right. Well, he's got business to take care of, and I think this is going to be fairly clean, anyways. I don't know how controversial this could possibly be. So, is there someone here from Swanson Road to represent this?
Nope.
I'm not seeing anybody, which is unfortunate. It is a pretty simple one, though.
yep, we may be able to do this on our own. So I'll allow you to read the notice if you'd like. Can you see it here? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, not to represent the applicant, but you can explain to us what they're requesting and what they told you.
Yeah. So,
Are you screen sharing, Ian?
yes. Can you see? Sorry.
Oh.
No. Interesting.
I can see it.
Oh, I got it now. Sorry.
All right.
I'm here.
Yep. So the subject at 95, 101, and 107 Swanson Road, otherwise known as parcel 07-008-000, is owned by Harvard Ridge Condominium Association and located in the Office Park District. Let me pull up this. 2 years ago, almost to the date, there was a decision approved by many of the same people on the Zoning Board of Appeals: Mark White, Mark Barbadoro, Michael Toops, Sean McCorrick were present through the proceedings. Nathaniel Stunts was also present as an associate member, and this decision was signed, and it is decision number 2023-03. I have it right here. Recorded at the Middlesex South Registry of Deeds, and all they have applied for is a extension of this. They have not specified how long they need to extend this. It's been a very limited communication. All I know, all the office knows, is that they have applied for an extension on this, mainly due to the Littleton water line extension coming down and having taken longer than expected. I also know that Ed Cataldo, our building inspector, had gone last week and had to issue a couple failures in the new building that stands there on the site where a condominium or an apartment building was burned down some years ago. And so they're looking to extend this to some amount of time. You guys can extend it to whatever you feel fit, be it 1 more year or 2 more years is the maximum. So yeah, I will note that this date is earlier than today, but the appeal period is when that 2-year timer starts. So they have until September 7th, 2025 to still effectively ask for an extension on this.
Yeah, I'm blindsiding you with this because I probably should have thought of it and emailed it to you before, but is this in the period of the Permit Extension Act? Because I think it might be.
I believe so, yes. Is this, what was that question?
Well, if this falls within the Permit Extension Act tolling period, then you actually get an extra year anyway. Can you figure that out that fast? You got to.
Yeah, I certainly can.
Guy.
Permit. What's the name of it? Permit Extension Act?
Permit Extension Act, and you want to know when the tolling period ended.
This was very recent, right? Yeah, 2024.
Yeah.
Polling permit year?
Tolling period for the Permit Extension Act. And I should have, it just occurred to me, like, just as we're talking.
The January 1, 2025.
That's when it ended?
Oh, okay.
So was it, and when did it start?
So shall be extended for a period of 2 years from its expiration date. So to January 1, 2025. Here, if you want to see it.
I just want to know when
please.
It begins.
If you have
begins January 1, 2023 to January 1, 20.
Oh, then it's extended. So unless, does the board have a problem authorizing an extension of 1 year? Because I think it falls within that period. I
would have moved to extend it for a year anyway. So
I would have too. But the only reason we had to do a hearing here is because our rules say when you amend the permit, you got to do the full process. So and the decision said you have to amend the permit to do it. So that's why we're here, and that's so I guess we'll take do you want to do to October 1st, 2026?
Make a motion to amend the special permit for 95, 101, and 107 Swanson Road to extend the required completion date to October, what was the date?
Well, I was thinking October 1st, 2026.
For 1 year. So whatever that is from whatever the expiration date currently is.
That would be 1 year and 2 weeks. If we say October, we'll give it a date. Okay. Oh, you want to go from the date of the expiration? That's fine. I don't care either way. So we have a clear motion on the table?
Ian?
Yes, if you want to, I would recommend restating that to extend the special permit decision number 2023-03 as approved until September 7th, 2026.
So amended. Motion
Is there a
amended.
second? Michael or Than, you want to second that?
Michael Troop, second.
Is there any discussion on that?
Just a quick question. I didn't have a chance to pull up the ZBA rules and regs. So this is a replacement of a destroyed structure. I'm assuming there was normally a 2-year clock that then can be extended. I'm just trying to make sure we got all our ducks in a row here. I obviously think this is not a problem.
I'll tell you what the issue is, that the decision itself, actually, Ian, could you scroll up and show them the last paragraph? It was the decision that told us that when it would expire.
Completed within 2 years after the issuance of this special permit or such permission shall lapse. So this permit shall not be valid until recorded with the Middlesex South District Registry of Deeds and evidence of such recording being provided to the building commissioner. Reconstruction shall be substantially completed within 2 years after the issuance of this special permit or such permission shall lapse. Application for extension of this permit must be made at least 90 days prior to the lapse of this permit. Have they complied with the 90 days requirement?
They have, yes.
Then they're within their rights to ask for an extension. I think it's just easier, Mark, rather than invoke the Chapter 238, just grant them an extension for a year, like we just the motion was just made to do. So the motion's on the floor, I think.
I'm just waiting for Michael to finish reading it.
No, okay, fine. So we've moved and seconded, so we can go forward.
Okay. All right. Mark White.
White eye.
Michael Toops.
Michael Toops, aye.
Dan Stunts.
Stunts, aye.
And Mark Barbadoro, aye. Awesome. All right, we've got Ian has done some work on our rules and regs. Where's our timeline here? Maybe we can open that up.
In 1 minute.
1 minute, okay.
Now, I will point out, I know Than's driving, and we did call him on the phone, not only to talk about 97 Mass Ave, but to also possibly schedule a time for the executive session. So did you want to do that as well?
Yeah, so I think we'll do the, unless there's an objection, we'll just schedule it at 7:30, and then we'll just roll right into that meeting afterwards. Does that sound like something we should do?
Yes, I had misheard you earlier. I was talking beginning of the meeting or at the tail end of the meeting for the executive session. So you still can put it at 7:30. Alec had mentioned you guys normally will do that before hopping into the regular Zoom meeting, or you can wait until the end.
Does the board have any preference about doing it before or after the public meeting?
Do we know how long it will go? Because if we do it before the public meeting, I don't want to have the public meeting hanging on, waiting for the end of the executive session.
What's the executive session regarding? Which site?
It's regarding Sarah's Way.
Okay, so I'm not going to even participate in that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I hear your point, Michael. You guys can tell me what you want. I'd prefer to do it before, but I'm not set on that. So if you guys feel like you'd rather do it afterwards, that's fine by me too.
I think I would prefer after, just because we've already set up a hearing for 7:35.
Okay. Well, we have to schedule the planning board as well, so we'll have to kind of guesstimate how much time that we'll need for that meeting,
right,
and then.
Right. Yep. Oh, that's right. All right. So if we're getting them as well, could we go earlier, like 7:15?
I'm fine going earlier if you guys, but I didn't want to interrupt Mark's dinner because Mark likes 7 o'clock for his dinner.
Thank you. Well, I can't attend though.
Right, but he won't be there.
Oh, you can't attend. You don't care. Yeah. How about you guys? Are you
How about
okay with 7
midnight?
o'clock?
I'm okay with a little earlier.
I can arrange to be there earlier. Over.
Ian, why don't we do it at 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock. Heard.
So we'll have let's get a motion to go into executive session meeting at September 23rd at 7 p.m.
No move.
Michael Toops, second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Michael Toops.
Michael Toops, aye.
Dan Stuntz. Oh, did you say aye?
I did say aye. Dan,
okay, and
Stuntz,
Mark, you froze right then. Mark Barbonaro, aye. Awesome.
And White recused.
And Mark has recused, yep. Okay, so we're ready for Ian to show us what he's done with the minutes thus far. I heard he might put a table of contents together.
The minutes?
Minutes, yeah. The rules and regs, right?
So, is it all right if I drop? I don't think I'm going to be able to follow along.
I don't want you reading. I don't want you reading that screen while you're driving.
I don't want to be reading. Yeah.
I already got into a car accident last week, so I don't want to see you go down too.
Yeah. All right.
So all right. Thanks a lot.
I think I have a copy of it, so I'll take a look at it. Wait.
Yeah, we're not voting on it tonight anyway, so you can review it at your leisure.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, Dan. Have a good night. Have a good vacation.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
Bye, Van.
Let me actually pull them up in Word so we can work on it. But I will say, yep, so I spent some time yesterday. You'd be shocked at how difficult it is to put a table of contents into Word. But that was majority of what I did was formatting because I know that it needed that. It would need it at some point. And then I went through and I just made sure that the language matched what we had. So instead of saying Thursday meetings, they were saying Tuesday meetings, first and third Tuesdays. Instead of the times when we reference Stowe's bylaw, and we say Town of Stowe zoning bylaw, I change it to Town of Boxborough and make sure that the language is consistent. And Mark, I did leave the majority of your comments and questions in there for the board to continue looking at and thinking on. So let me pull up the Word document here. And we can get through however much you guys would like to get through in this night.
Right. Well, let's see
that
table.
Yeah, the table is pretty lengthy. I can either keep it lengthy, because in this you can control-click to any tiny part, or you can just keep the main section, the head sections. So you'd have section 1, or sorry, articles, all the way to Article 8, and then you can allow viewers to kind of find subsection or sections on their own time. So that's one thing that I would need to that I'd like to know you guys' preference on.
I prefer it lengthy, but
I agree with that.
Nothing we need to decide tonight, but
okay. Well then, if we like it lengthy, we can keep it lengthy. How did you want to do this? Did you want to go comment for comment, red text to red text?
Well, I mean, I think any substantive changes, because I'm going to go through it myself, just hit the high points.
All right.
Unless Mark or Michael want to drill down deeper, that's fine by me too.
High points are good. I assume we're coming back next meeting to vote it, or is that the plan?
I don't know if we're ready yet. I don't want to rush. I especially want Sean to see it and comment on it because I think the last meeting he was a little concerned about moving too quickly.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, fair enough.
Well, start at the top. I mean, I've got the Word document open on my desktop. So on 111 purpose. So
Mhm.
Mark, you added like a bunch of Lego mumbo jumbo there that on the face of it doesn't, bother me. It's just, it sounds like a lot of Lego mumbo jumbo. And I like simple, sentences that don't sound like an attorney wrote them. So I don't know where you plucked this from. I'm sure you found it someplace. And so we're going to adopt rules not inconsistent with the provisions of the bylaw. Shall file a copy of rules in the event that a Board of Appeals is appointed as zoning administrator in accordance with sections of said rules of the Act, comma, said rules shall set forth the fact of such appointment, the identity of the persons from time to time appointed to. So So what's
well, if you
happening
go
here
to
in that?
So
What's
this
happening in
is
that sentence?
MGL, if I'm not mistaken.
48 section 12 is
Yeah,
you can,
I mean,
you can paraphrase it though.
well, so here's the thing, right? We're beholden to chapter 40, all of it. And any attorney's going to have known his way through the whole thing. So I guess the question is for us and for the general public, because that's really who this is for, is how do you make this thing comprehensible without making it look like something that the state wrote? Because their law isn't comprehensible by any measure. So how do you weed that, what is it, 2 sentences, which are long sentences, down to something meaningful to a layman?
Well, so I agree. So, but I think for me that the first sentence or the first clause of the first sentence is the important part for me, right? So
Section 12 of the Act.
What's the section?
Yeah.
And the rules shall not be inconsistent with the provisions of the bylaw. And it's for the conducting of business,
Yeah, the first sentence I'm okay with. It's the second sentence.
I'm not necessarily opposed to striking a whole bunch of that. So
I'm not saying to strike it. I mean, it's meaningful, right? It's there for a reason. I'm just trying to think of a way to say that in less words that is still meaningful.
Well, I'm wondering.
Well, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, I'm wondering if a lot of that is basically rephrasing 48 section 12. If we can be just a little simpler, saying the board shall adopt rules not inconsistent.
48 section 12.
48 section 12 with the provisions of the bylaw for conduct of business for purposes of the. Yeah.
Well, the rules can't be inconsistent with the bylaw either.
Right.
So I think in accordance with section 12, the board shall adopt rules not inconsistent with the bylaw for conducting of its business. And then after that, if you guys want to strike, the rest of it, I'm not opposed to it. I mean,
That's next sentence. So I don't know. That next sentence throws me. So strike that and just leave the rest of it.
actually, Ian, if you could put a strike through there instead, and then that way we can send it to Sean and he can read it.
Right.
And Than.
Keep it going. No, right. For its business and for purposes of the act, and shall file a copy said with the town clerk. Period. Everything after that next sentence, that's what's redlined. Yeah. And then get rid of the other red line. Yep. There you go. How I got to do this as a pop-up. How do I do that? Pop out. All right.
Yeah, just call them out when you see something you don't like.
Yeah, no, it's all good. The effective date obviously will change. Last sentence in 1.6. So again, it's to me, it's if I have to think 3 times to read the sentence, I have to ask myself, how meaningful is it? The board may, in conformity with the provisions of the Zoning Act, make orders or decisions, reverse or affirm in whole or in part, or modify any or decision. And to that end, okay, I guess it's the last part of it. And to that end shall have all the powers of the officer from whom the appeal is taken, and may issue or direct the issuance of a permit.
So
let's
we
say
can assume the authority and issue permits that are being withheld for zoning.
Okay, so powers of the officer from whom the appeal is taken would be the building inspector or other regulatory authority.
Yep.
Okay.
And again, I do a lot of cutting and pasting. So if you want to paraphrase or you think you have a better way of saying it, put it in and we'll have Sean look at it.
No, again, I'm going to guess this has been stuff that you've taken from places that lawyers have looked at.
Well, I'm cutting and pasting almost verbatim. Like that's straight out of 48 Section 8, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's wicked legalese. I guess I had hoped that our rules and regs weren't going to be so legalistic, but be more kind of conversational. But
well, I don't have a problem with that if you can find phrase it in a way that still captures the intent. I don't really have a problem. So
let me try something.
What I'm saying, Mark, is I'm done. That's all I can do with with these rules and regs, and feel free to do whatever the heck you want with them.
Okay, I get you. And hold on, give me a second.
And yeah, just put them in parentheses, and we'll, let the other two look at them too.
Okay, so here's what ChatGPT does with it. The board can review any decision, change it, overturn it, or keep it as is. They have the same authority as the official who made the original decision, including the ability to issue permits.
Fine with that. So pretty much the same thing.
Again, you see that would we be challenged on our rules and regs?
Rules and regs are, you've got the right idea, because rules and regs are designed to be informative, and they don't take away or add to any authority that you get out of the bylaw or the law. So
the law still gives you all the authority. The rules and regs don't take away any of that authority.
Yep.
This is just a way of clarifying our intent.
Yep. And as long as we don't write something that would lead someone to believe that mislead somebody, then you can paraphrase away. No problem.
Right. Ian, how fast can you type?
Go for it.
The board can review any decision, comma, change it, comma, overturn it, comma, or keep it as is, period. They have the same authority as the official who made the original decision, comma, including the ability to issue permits.
After decision.
Including the ability to issue permits. You did that a lot quicker than I could. So it's just a simplified. So, you know, I gotta say, ChatGPT is really good at this stuff. Take it, make it, turn it into plain language. It's a language model, and for that, it is really fantastic. So sorry, Mark. I mean, because I know you worked on this, but
oh, I don't care, Mark. I just want to get it done.
Yeah, I get you. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, my feelings aren't hurt. You can switch it around, do whatever you want.
No, I know it's hard to hurt your feelings, but or sometimes it can be easy. But no, it's not about feelings here. No, the vulnerability inspector. No. So definitions. Okay with that.
Yeah, a lot of these definitions I found to be pretty straightforward.
Yep. Use variants, good add. Yeah. Where's the rules? Special.
Put this in order.
Strict compliance. Any portion when approved by majority in the public interest and consistent with the intent. Interesting.
I have a question on 1.7.
1.7.
Yeah, just reading that just almost gives me the impression that the board's rules override federal, state, and local permits and laws. That sounds like a bad reading of it. The simple engineer here is almost the way I read that. Am I misreading the way it's phrased?
Any application submitted to the board shall comply with the provisions of these rules, whether or not such application is governed by any other federal, state, or local permit, variances, approvals, or programs. Yeah, that sounds like that came out of Stowe.
That almost sounds like we're overriding federal and state law. That can't be the case. Not sure what to do with it, but
right. That's a good point, because it might mislead somebody into thinking that this thing supplants a law or.
It almost intends to imply the board has jurisdiction over anything if it's in its rules, but the rules are informational, not legislative.
Yeah, I think that needs work.
Yeah, here's what ChatGPT did with it. Down said, every application to the board must follow these rules, no matter what other federal, state, or local permits or approvals it may already have. So that means we're superseding, we're stacking on top of federal, state, and local. My understanding is,
yeah, how you framed it, Mark, you put it in a good way. Stacks on top of and not superseding. Whereas I think what's already in here does definitely sound like it supersedes federal and state. So what was that?
Well, no, it kind of says the same thing. Every application to the board must follow these rules, no matter what other federal, state, local permits or approvals it may already have. So you're saying that you could get all your approvals from federal, state, and local, but you still got to go through us. Getting
other approvals doesn't mean you don't have to get your approvals through this board. That's what it's saying.
Okay. Okay. So then maybe that's a good way of putting it. The board can review any decision, change it, overturn it, or keep it as is. They have the same authority. No. Oh,
1.7, right below it.
1.7. Yeah, no, it was outlined, so it was highlighted. So any applications should comply with the provisions of these rules, whether or not. So back. So if do we have the authority to overlay? I guess we do. If the federal government says you can do it, can we say, well, you can't?
Reminds me of the wireless overlay stuff in some sense.
Yeah. Highlight that one. Let's run
Yeah.
an attorney.
Did we want to try to rephrase it so that it sounded a bit more?
No.
All right.
Let Sean look at that. I mean, just because Stowe put it in there doesn't mean it's right. So
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Did we still want to go through the definitions, or did we feel like we got those?
Keep going.
Ignore the highlight on this. I just was going to put it in a different order.
Let's see. 1 point. So the last definition, the zoning bylaw.
Yes.
Probably don't want to do the zoning bylaw of Stowe. Strike Stowe and put in Boxborough.
Yes, I have Boxborough here. You must have downloaded. There was like a 20-minute period that I sent it out, or
Never
sorry,
fails.
I uploaded it, and I know you're a big downloader of the Dropbox.
I get them early, right? You know, then
yeah.
and then it's like, then you change them, then that's not good. So that messes us up. That it's funny because it's not a hot link for me. It's a static link that once you do it, denial of.
Yes, I got all the rest of the Stows though. So if you see another, you double check me. But
again, you know, you're going to catch that in in spell check kind of thing. Search and replace. Yeah, this 1.10.3, denial of waiver. These two, 10.3 and 10.4, boy, those. Let's see what we can do with those. Let's see. Make this. Okay. This is great. Here's my plain language rewrite of that section. Ready?
Go for it.
If the board refuses to grant a waiver of any requirements in Articles 2 through 4, the applicant must submit 3 copies of the plan within 20 days. Along with the plan, the applicant must provide a written agreement approved by town council stating that the official time limits under state law, General Laws, Chapter 48, Sections 9 and or 15, start once the plans are filed. That's 1.10.3.
3, yeah.
All right, I'm confused. 1.10.3, the board denies a waiver. And you're saying the applicant has to do something. Applicant has to do something to do what? To appeal it? To what?
Well, first it says let's submit 3 copies of the plan within 20 days. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, this is saying the board has already done something. After the board does something, they're going to do a bunch of stuff. Why?
So the applicant comes in, right? And he says, I'm not giving you plans. I'm asking for a waiver, right?
Right.
And then the applicant has a time frame now. So you've jerked our chain. Now you got 20 days to give us what we need, and give us in triplicate, because that's what we all agreed upon at the last meeting. That is the minimum, probably safe requirements, given that we got to give the applicant a copy to record, and we need a copy for our files, and maybe one for the building inspector to use on site. So hence the 3 copies. And we get more time because you came in with an incomplete application. I think that's what it's saying. What does ChatGPT say on the subject?
If the board refuses to grant a waiver of any requirements in Articles 2 through 4, so we refuse to grant the waiver, the applicant must submit 3 copies of the plan within 20 days. Along with the plan, the applicant must provide a written agreement stating that the time limits start once
Are extended by that time.
Yeah, so
I think maybe
ChatGPT is stupid, don't forget.
Said plan, it's basically the unwaived, how should I phrase it? The unwaived items need to be filed within 20 days. That may not necessarily be the plan that's waived. I mean, there's a whole list of things.
Yeah, this is confusing as hell to me. I mean, again, I'd rather let an attorney look at this with their critical eye.
Well, we know what we want to do, right? We want them, as Michael says, if you're requesting a waiver from something, you must provide that something within 20 days, 3 copies.
Okay, I don't really get that from what this
is the waiver process prior to the start of the hearing or after the start of the hearing?
When they apply, they fill out the requested waivers, and then they give us the application missing the items that they were requesting the waiver for. And if we agree when we see it, this will be the first crack that the board has, is at the hearing, because we can't act except at a hearing. So it's the first opportunity to look at it, and we go, wait a minute, we can't accept a waiver on that. So we vote on that and say, sorry, you do need to provide that information. You've got to get it within 20 days.
Right. So I think the only confusing part of that is the said plan. It's really the non-waived items.
Yeah. Can we make a note with that, just so, need clarity on what is being supplied?
Yeah, the applicant must submit 3 plans of the non-waived.
Well, it's probably part of the plans, but it's basically submit 3 copies of the non-waived items, be it plans or who knows what, because it could be a whole host of things.
It could be, yep.
You know what kind of hurts it is I mean, it does come after 1.10.2 because of request for a waiver and denial of waiver. In the event that the board shall decline to waive said requirement.
This is in 10.2.
No, 1.10.3 is referring to 1.10.2.
Yeah.
Using the words said requirement, meaning the requirement above. So probably it makes more sense to say, in the event that the board shall decline a waiver from the rules.
Say that again, in the event.
Again, the language that's here, denial of waiver. In the event that the board shall decline to waive instead of said requirement, you would say...
Well, you know what?
What?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mark. Go ahead with you.
Go ahead.
Instead of trying to figure out how to phrase it, maybe we should just say you have 20 days to provide a complete application, and you can even, italicize complete, and then you know that you're referring to the things that were not waived.
No. I mean, so the 1.10.3 follows 1.10.2. Well, 1.10.2 says I'm requesting a waiver. 1.10.3 says if we deny your waiver, right?
Yep.
Then you need to give us what we need.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying, if you're denied, you shall have 20 days to complete the application.
Right. Okay. So
That's just a thought.
okay. So then, the only change to my plain language rewrite would be, so here, Ian, I wish I could copy and paste in your screen.
Can you try sending it in the chat here? Oh, there's no chat.
Oh, you got chat?
No,
Turn it on.
there's no chat in these Zooms.
Oh.
I might
Must
be able
must
to
be the
share
free
this now.
version. I text it to you, but I can't. So basically, if the so here's what it was. If the board refuses, so if we deny the waiver, if we refuse to grant the waiver of any of the requirements above, then the applicant must submit 3 copies of the plan within within 20 days. And along with the plan, the applicant must provide a written agreement. Me reading this is stupid because you guys can't follow it.
Mark, if you want, do you have the live doc right there? Not the live doc, but a doc that you can copy onto, and then tomorrow I can take yours.
Do you have Ian? Give me your phone.
508.
Yeah.
728-9713.
Okay, so hold on. Here, I'm going to do this. That way you can cut and paste. Menu. So. Let's try that. That might work. It's a weird workaround. Too bad we don't have chat, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't even see an option to turn it on. Just give me 1 sec. I'm going to pull this up on my Mac now because this is on my work computer.
Do we, does the town have a paid Zoom account?
I believe so. Yes.
So actually make yourself a little note, say, how do you turn on the chat in meetings?
Yeah.
Meetings like this, it would be handy.
I wonder if there's an issue with the chat not being logged properly for meeting records.
Maybe, because we are in a hearing. But it's just the sharing of a document, just like we do on the screen. I mean, I could share the document on the screen, but then you can't copy paste.
All right. I got it here. Let me share my screen. This is 10.1.10.3, right?
Yes, sorry. Yeah. So basically, it's condensation of 1.10.3 that.
All right. I got it there. I'm just not sharing it. Let me share it. I have to do this weird workaround with 2 screens when I host at home because
Here it comes.
all my work stuff is on one computer. All right, here we go. And we were right.
So
it's not that.
if the board, so denial of waiver. If the board refuses to grant the waiver of any of the requirements, then the applicant must submit an article.
We want to get rid of this articles part.
Yeah.
Any other requirements? I don't think we necessarily need to.
Yeah, that's good.
Require. Yeah.
The applicant must.
I'd like to stick some word in after, before plan, like a completed copy of the plan or something to indicate what they're, not just a plan, because it sounds like you guys said it's
right.
Sounds like you're submitting the same plan over and over.
Right.
Amended maybe plan or amended application or something.
Or application. might be good because not all of the, as we said, not all of the waivers are plans. Application.
Within 20 days. So that takes care of that. And then the agreement, it takes care of that, right?
Maybe say rather than along with the plan, say along with the application or completed revised application.
I'll be right back.
I think revised is better in both areas.
Yeah, I like it.
Amended might get confusing when you're talking about actual amendments that come later. Revised application. The applicant must provide a written agreement. This last clause, do we feel that that is sufficient? Together with an instrument. Okay, yeah, this is where I got confused on the original. All right.
Yeah, I think that works. And if the
Yeah.
applicant doesn't want to follow that agreement, then we don't have to accept the application.
Yeah. Yep.
The only other question is there anything we envision that would normally require that somebody would ask for a waiver that would require more than 20 days for them to generate?
Well, I mean, I think I agree. We could definitely put something in that says we can, through mutual agreement, extend the time, because we can extend the time by a year if we wanted to. Do we need to put something in there? Do you want to put something in? We can put something in for sure. I like the idea of giving them a hard and fast time so that we can say we warned you if they're jerking our chain. But I also see the other side, as you point out.
Well, I think you would need. I think the issue is part of the 20-day issue is to make sure that with the last sentence we can reset the clock for the mandatory hearings. I think what we do need within the 20 days may be the revision of the time limits to say that the time limits don't stop until the non-waived items are filed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could.
Prior to the end of, that's good.
You could say failure to provide within 20 days could result in denial of the application or something. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a little fried with this.
What was the term you used?
Denial
May result in denial of the application.
Yeah, I'll leave that there for now and let Sean look at it later and you'll see the red line. And so get rid of the cut and paste up above.
Sorry, here?
No, red line the denial of the waiver thing, the original.
Oh, yes. Yeah, sorry, strike through.
Strike through.
There we go.
And then probably just get rid of the cut and paste in yellow there. Because all that is just like a working kind of, we've incorporated it.
Get rid of it?
Yeah.
We're going to get rid of that? I thought we just added that.
Oh.
Yeah, this is...
Okay, I'm sorry, because I walked away. All right.
Yeah, that was the part we just added.
Yep. All right, sorry.
That's our friend ChatGPT.
All right. Communications to the board, that's good. Okay, contents of the application. Okay. 2.6, that's good. Is hold on, 2.6 and 7? Would you burden of production of evidence and burden of persuasion? So they broke them into two separate things. Could you merge those?
Yeah, we can merge them.
Just into one?
I would.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
You could say burden of evidence per production and persuasion
Right.
for the title.
Burden of production of evidence and persuasion, then strike 2 points, the burden of persuasion, and then just have two paragraphs there.
yeah, the only thing is, I agree, there's two paragraphs. I think the reason it was broken before was one was trying to convince the board they can do that they could grant the relief, but the other was trying to convince, the second 2.7 was trying to say that convince the board it has jurisdiction, which seems a lot, but that's the way it's phrased.
Michael, I missed a little of that. What were you saying?
All right, so 2.6 as originally written was basically showing evidence that the board should grant something. 2.7 was showing that the board actually had jurisdiction, which is a little odd for the applicant to be proving to the board it has jurisdiction, but that's the way it's phrased. So it's purely a jurisdictional paragraph, which was 2.7. I think that's why it was in its own paragraph, but not saying it needs to be in one, but that's the odd phraseology that is going in that paragraph that's different than the previous paragraph.
Oh, well, I mean, for me, I guess the important and how we phrase it, I don't really care, but as long as, future readers of the rules and regulations realize that when the applicant comes in and he says, well, you prove me wrong, we just say, no, you prove your case. You prove you right.
But is it the applicant's position to prove that we have jurisdiction, or is it the board's?
I think it's the applicant's is to prove their case. So when they say you have jurisdiction, they're saying, here you have the authority to grant this waiver because here's my compelling evidence on soil shapes and topographies and hardship, right?
That's the first paragraph saying, here's my evidence on soil topography, whatever. The second paragraph is sort of saying, oh, the ZBA can use this information to grant me the ZBA has jurisdiction for granting left-handed smoke curler permits. I don't know, because it's saying they need to show the board with the preponderance of evidence that it has jurisdiction.
So the first one, Michael, is saying the evidence leads me to believe that you deserve relief, right?
Correct.
And the second one is give me the evidence. It's your job to give me the evidence. So your evidence needs to be persuasive, and and the burden of production is on the applicant. I mean, we can phrase that any way you want.
Well, I guess the thing that I'm hung up on is a preponderance of the evidence that it has jurisdiction. It seems like it's emphasizing that you're going to prove to the board that it has jurisdiction in that area. Not that the evidence is good or bad, but that you're going to try to provide evidence to the board that it has jurisdiction. I don't see how you provide evidence to the board it has jurisdiction other than saying read bylaw.
The first paragraph is the persuasive one, so that is good evidence, right? You've got compelling evidence up top, but below it's saying you provide the evidence. If you don't provide the evidence that we have the authority to grant you the relief you're seeking, then, but again,
well, I guess the only thing is the sentence to prove that the board has jurisdiction, not that the board can grant the relief.
Well, it's that you have jurisdiction and the relief requested should be granted.
Okay.
So you have the authority to do it, and you should get it.
So let's try this. Ian, the last thing I just sent you.
Yeah. Yep. I see it.
Strike the one that you just put in, and then put in the second one.
Is the second one you sent me a clause?
Yeah.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, this combines the two. It is the applicant's responsibility to include enough evidence in the application to show by a preponderance of the evidence, both that the board has the authority, you use the word authority, so that's a better word, to act on that matter, and that the relief required is justified. If the applicant doesn't produce sufficient evidence to persuade the board that on these points, the application must be denied. That's a good conversational tone right there. I like that. It does. I think it accomplishes what both of those say.
I'm good with that. Yeah. I mean, but the idea is qualitative and quantitative. But I think this is good enough. I don't know how deep into the weeds we need to go.
Well, again, leave the strike throughs. I really do want Sean to look at this because he's good at this stuff. Okay, so let's keep going. 2.10. I guess these are I would just kind of proceed these as applicant will provide a list of parties in interest. Applicant will provide a list and copies of variances.
Can we say shall?
Shall.
Will? I'm sorry to be picky on.
Yeah. No, I mean, you see what I'm saying, though?
Yep, I agree.
Probably would have ended up being my job if we didn't state that. So
same thing, 211.
Copy of the motion.
Can you highlight that change though?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, this whole thing adjust according to our current needs. I mean, I think we've been talking a lot about revising this into something more reasonable. The planning board in their rules and regs, I think, worked on that. So maybe just put a note in there, Ian, to go look at what the planning board's rules and regs, because Mark, we don't want anything different than the planning board does, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know because I'm not on the board, but I might. I'd like to read it, see, for sure.
So maybe what we'll do is show what the planning board requires and their rules and regs, and then put them up one against each other, and we'll come back to it one last.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That way, all boards are on the same page because why should one board want 5 copies and the other board want 3?
Well, this says 1 copy, yeah.
Right. Well, in electronic format, yeah, that's all you want is 1 copy. But the 5 copy, I think we reduced the full scale plan size and copies to something different.
I think we went down to 3 copies of full size.
That's what I think. And then reduce scale. So again, let's synchronize that with what the planning board did. Makes sense.
These are all pretty.
Yeah. You know, one thing I'd love to see, I don't know where you put it. And I guess it is around where these plan specifications are, is I keep seeing these plans that show just the lot in question, and it doesn't show it in relation to adjoining lots. And I don't think that they need to, you know, certainly they're not going to survey the adjoining lots, but to show them in relation to them, you know, like with like the abutters, right? So we say the abutters are what, 300 feet away? That should show the lot lines of the abutters taken from the GIS or however they get it. I mean, is that asking for too much?
I don't know. It sounds like maybe you could modify your locust plan requirement.
Yeah, I was going to say that
Okay.
might be something.
So it's the locust plan.
But some of the, I mean, if yeah, the locust plan, especially
How much granularity do you need? Do you want to see the whole property, the whole other property, Mark? Like the abutting lots, or
No,
just the line and the owner's
everything
name?
within 300 feet. So each plan out another says the number of properties within 300. Okay, within 300 feet. And assessor parcel numbers. Yeah. Again, I you know, you can't ask them to create engineering for adjacent lots. So I'm not going to ask for that. Although do they have that on record? Can they go to GIS and show like the location of a structure? So, you know, a lot of times, because I don't like looking at a property in a vacuum. That's the thing. So, but
I know exactly why you're saying it, and it's definitely helpful to have if we can pin down some of that language to make sure that you get what you want every time. It's a good thing.
So it's number 3. Each plan shall have a North Point property lines clearly shown, as well as the names of all streets, zoning districts, owners, and assessor parcel numbers of properties within 300 feet. So what they do is they just show a parcel number over here. I'd say an address. That way people can understand what the address is, parcel number and address of adjacent properties, of properties within 300 feet of the property line. Can you ask them to show buildings, structures? Within
You can ask them for whatever you want.
In structures. So parcel numbers, parcel and street numbers, and buildings within 300 feet of the property line. I'd love to see that on every locust plan.
And we should put it on there. I don't have a problem with that.
structures and
So owners and assessor parcel numbers and street numbers.
properties with street numbers.
I'm just really good with the GIS, so I don't, when somebody sends an application and I'm like,
Yeah, but I'm more thinking about people, the public is looking at stuff and street numbers with street numbers and structures.
And
Since we
structure.
have that information in the GIS, would it be appropriate for the town to add as an addendum onto the package that page straight from the information downloaded from the GIS, as opposed to having the applicant try to work the GIS themselves?
I mean, that's what they do for a living, so I'm not really too worried about it.
I think to your point, Michael, I think we can waive when we get, you know, a homeowner who wants to put the deck on the back of their house.
Right.
But I think we can waive that stuff. But if we're talking about across the street from Sarah's Way, you know, that engineer has access to all that stuff and they can just pull it up. It's not that hard.
Well,
And
no,
already given us the owners' names and deeds, book and page. That's really the pain in the butt stuff to get, as far as I'm concerned.
well, that's what I go to GIS for. But so I'm just thinking that when and a butter gets a notice and there's going to be a hearing and the plans are posted to the website as part of the packet, that on the locus page they can see that structure that's being proposed in relation to their lot, and they're only on that list because they're within 300 feet of it. So I mean, show where everything is around them so that they can see, how it relates to them. It's the only place they're going to see it, and otherwise they're going to have to go to GIS. And I'm going to say not 50% of the people are very, ever going to go there. So let's try that.
Should these things be in section 215 on locust plan rather than in the plan section?
Maybe, but it's when it says here plan specification, each plan shall have a north point. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I mean, that's not exactly. We have a separate section for a locust plan in 215.
Yeah.
And that's starting to approach that, but not quite. Or maybe that requirement needs to go to the locust plan section.
Yeah, maybe you're right, because each plan. I mean, does that mean each plan page shall have a north point property lines? I think that's what it means.
Right. I think they want the north point and the property lines on each of the normal size plans
On each page.
Exactly the locus.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the locus plan then would include, so you could copy and paste that down to the locus plan instead, and then go back to what it said originally.
right. So originally did have the 300-foot language, which is
Right.
I think they were just trying to put the numbers or stuff, which is a little confusing.
I don't want to reinvent the wheel here. I'm trying to figure out a way to get that greater amount of information in front of people.
Hey, the more information you get, the happier I am when I get the application. So,
yeah, well, me too.
As much as you want.
Right, and the what I don't want to create is a monstrous expense for applicants. So, but we can waive it.
Something like that.
Yeah, but add in within 300 feet somewhere. And existing structures within 300 feet. Yeah. Of the property line of the subject property. Okay.
Is this supposed to be Article 2? Accompanied by plans that comply with. Oh no, Article. Okay, never mind.
I'm worried that all of the references are wrong in these sections that, have circular references. Because
Yeah,
we got to check them all
I'll
carefully.
just do this then.
I'll be right back.
Same thing with 3.1 applicability. You got to double check all of those.
Gotcha.
Well, I think that's Article 2 is the plan section. That was in the filing
Yeah.
requirements in the, not Article 1. It's like 2.1 through 2.10.
Are you talking about for 218, Michael?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you referencing this one that we have for 218?
Yes.
Yeah, I
think we're talking about
trying to see
1 to 2,
compliance with rules is in as a
214, I think, or 215, or even more. I think it's everything else in section 2, so it is section 2. That's the end of section 2, saying everything previously mentioned in section 2 needs to be filed.
I think that's a good understanding of it. Trying to find if it was referencing anything specific in one, but I think you're right. It was more referencing those. Okay. And sorry, Mark, you said all of these in 3.1.
Well, you should check them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is yeah. I think I'll have an easier time with this because it's the zoning bylaw. But yeah, it's been updating. So
No, it's included, but not limited to. So
yeah. Check reference.
So, Mark, you want to explain those your highlights there when you get back, and the additional criteria outlined in 2, 3, 4. So hold on. Let's
Ernie
go.
Costa. You have the comments there as well, Mark?
I did. No, Mark.
And
Yeah, that's Mark.
you can see them now. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I get. Let me get to some Adobe down a Boxborough. So what was that? 2.3.4. Find 2.3.4. Okay, well, that's standard. Under section 4.3, non-conforming uses and structures, the criteria. Can we, so in the, I'm on 3.1 applicability. I'm still working on the bottom changes there. Go back up, Ian. 3.1 applicability. Okay, so Mark, you got these two comments there. See them? Scroll it down right there. All right, so the first one, additional criteria 2.3.4. So that's fine because that's basically our decision criteria. But the second one, non-conforming, the criteria Mass General Law shall apply. And I'm okay with that, but nobody knows what that means. So I guess, how do you
I'm trying to paraphrase Section 6.
Yeah.
Let's see.
MG. All right. So
it's tough because it's very wordy and it covers 1 and 2 family dwellings and all other buildings separately. So I don't know how we're going to capture it.
All right.
It's written, terribly written law.
Yeah, like everything else Massachusetts law does. Hold on. Section.
So with houses, right?
Oh,
middle of the first paragraph. It shall apply to single or 2 family dwellings. Residential structure does not increase the non-conforming nature of said structure, right? So that's one standard. And then pre-existing non-conforming structures may be altered or used, provided a finding by the permit granting or special permit granting authority designated by the bylaw shall not be more detrimental than the existing non-conforming use to the neighborhood.
Okay.
So
no. I mean, you're just gonna have to leave it as it is because there's just so much in Section 6. If you're gonna use the reference, there's no way to paraphrase it.
Right. It's not an easy paraphrase.
No.
But the bottom line is it's just you get to make a finding whether it's detrimental or not. Or if it's a 1 and 2 family dwelling, if it is not an increase in the non-conforming nature, you don't even need a special permit. But unless the bylaw tells you you do.
I'm kind of curious now what ChatGPT is going to do with that section. Oh, not bad.
That first paragraph, though, it's only a portion of it has to do with non-conforming uses and structures. And a lot of stuff in there.
Okay. So existing non-conforming uses or structures may be altered or extended, but only if the permitting authority finds the change is not substantially more harmful to the neighborhood. Towns may also regulate abandoned non-conforming uses. That's the subsection of 40A subsection 6. I mean,
well, if you want to paraphrase it, fine by me, but I would definitely leave in the reference to the law so that someone knows to go and read the actual law and apply it.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just do that. Let's try that. I mean, non-conforming uses and structures, small residential lots, appeals and litigation.
I'll tell you why I don't like paraphrasing.
Yeah,
is that we've gone to court a couple of times in Fitchburg where the planning board wanted to, we would reference the statute and then they pulled the reference in, then times would change, someone would modify it again, then they'd screw it up, then we'd end up in court over it. It's just, so you're walking a tightrope of user friendliness versus someone abusing it and beating you up with it later. But this is just the rules and regs, so I think paraphrasing's, appropriate.
Just an idea, especially for that paragraph there where we're quoting additional criteria by section 234 of the bylaw, and then special permits non-conforming Mass General Law, chapter 6. Should we just be saying something to the effect, this is just the rules and regs, that the bylaw, special permits are granted in conformity with the zoning bylaws of Boxborough and Mass General Law, period, without trying to quote every sub-paragraph in this section.
I mean, so you see the Ian just.
I might need to see it written out to know what you mean.
So what I do is put that, condensed paragraph after after, well, scroll back down. All right, right in there. So zoning board of appeals shall create no, up above. The criteria of Mass General Law 40S shall apply. I put in parentheses that sentence below it.
I tend to lean a little bit with Mark's comments that the more we paraphrase, the more danger we get in misquoting the law or the law changes, and somebody tries to throw it back in our face later.
I don't see that ever changing. I mean, put it this way. I am a believer in quoting Mass General Law because you could always go back to it. I just don't think it makes it readable for the average human being. So I start with, well, say what you mean, and then fluff it up as you need to comply with the law. So I don't know. Fine, get rid of it. It's less is more, not more is less.
Now, I understand where you're coming from. What I struggle with is that the rules and regulations should be a complete requoting of all Mass General Law and all the zoning board zoning bylaws in its entirety. So we can't cover all that, but we're trying to say what you need to do to get an application through. So I'm struggling with how much detail is too much and how much is not enough.
Right, me too. All right, so did we go back to the what it was?
It's interesting to hear, though, that you guys are, I mean, Mark particularly is thinking about the everyday user, and I'm thinking, I'm trying to leave a breadcrumb trail for the next ZBA members, and I think you have to do both, and it didn't occur to me to consider the common man just trying to figure out what he needs to do to satisfy an application.
Well, I mean, what's right there, that sentence that he just pasted, is kind of a simplified version of what you're referring to. Non-conforming uses and structures. Right. The synthesis is existing non-conforming. It's like we know that by heart. Nobody else does.
Right. But then I worry that
somebody's going to use it to beat you over.
Apply it on a 1 and 2 family dwelling, and the standard is, the first check is it an increase in the non-conforming nature.
Right. No, you're safer referring to the Mass law. That's all. Get it out of there. All right. Sorry, that was
There's no good answers with the Zoning Act.
In the next sentence, though, hold on before you wrap that up. Findings should include comments. It should include, I think, get rid of A. Include comments. That's it.
Is 3-3 incomplete, or is 3-4? It looks like 3-3 is. I mean, 3-2 is sort of motherhood. 3-3 doesn't seems like it's implying that there are specific things needed for certain permit types, but then it doesn't go into the details.
I think it's meaning variances. The following.
Yeah, it seems like it's missing something.
It seems to say in 3-3 that there are, if you're looking for something, and something, you're going to need additional supporting documents, but it doesn't say. It doesn't list the special permit types. It looks like there's another paragraph missing. Or what special permit types need, and then what, like a table of special permit and additional documents required.
Well, if it says following, I would read it to say that it's applying to variances and whatever comes after variances. But I don't think that's what it means.
We got to figure that one out. Yeah.
Well,
That one's definitely broken.
Yeah, it's in section 3.3. It's not in section, and it's not in Article 4, and it's not referring to anything else. It looks like there's additional text that, to me, it looks like there was a table that should have gone after that saying, you know, special permit, stormwater requires this document.
Definitely agree with you, Michael.
That document.
I'm going to have to check both of the source rules, you know, go back to our original rules and go back to the Stowe one to see what the intent was there, because you're right, it's missing a big chunk.
Or is there a section in the zoning bylaws that we can just point to?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not going to figure it out tonight, that's for damn sure.
That's for sure. And 3.4 is just sort of a catch-all that the ZBA may request additional information. I don't know that it needs to explicitly state stormwater report, because it may be other things that it's looking for. Basically, something to the effect, it's a simple sentence that ZBA may request additional information as needed to support an application in question, period, without. I think the example makes it, weakens it.
I'm okay striking it or rewording it, Michael, if you want to do that, because I agree with you. I think that came from Stowe.
Yeah, that's more like it, something along those lines. I don't know if you want to do a. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Say do a strikeout of the stuff that we're deleting, but
Oh yeah,
I don't know if
that one
care.
I feel like was really random to just single out stormwater report.
Yeah. Is the red text in section 4.1 just emphasis? Or does that mean something?
Mark, do you know if that was your additions?
What's that?
This right here, the red text.
So, Michael had asked me this before. The red text, when I gave it back, I had my very last editing was in red. And I didn't do it for any other particular reason, just for me to keep track of the things that I had changed since the last version.
Okay.
So that may be still the legacy of the red text that I put in, which was literally just the last day before I shipped it out. That was what I changed.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see any problem with that. I just was wondering if it was supposed to mean something other than emphasis for the reader that use variances are not permitted.
No.
Because I know that's a sore point sometimes. Side issue, did we ever resolve? There's been the whole issue with if something is not explicitly in the use table, it doesn't exist.
That's pretty much a standard tenet in every bylaw I've ever read. There's a section in our bylaw that says that as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know there's been some creative tap dancing trying to figure out whether things fell under a use or not because we didn't have a use listed.
If you can't pound the square peg into the round hole, then you cannot do it.
You need a bigger round hole.
There you go.
I had a quick comment on 421, and the sections underneath it seem to be all written with our most common variance, which is the setbacks, but there are other variances other than setback variances.
Say that again.
Can you pull up 421 a little bit, Ian? I can barely read it there. Thank you.
Everything on that list seems to be pretty much having to do with setbacks or maybe heights. But I guess there are other things that the variances would fall under too.
It probably add another bullet that says or any other variance sought. Meaning that the list isn't exclusive. Is the list exclusive?
How about or any other relief sought or something like that?
Yeah. So another bullet or any other relief sought. Yeah.
I wonder if the section, rather than saying variance request including, should be variance requests specifying the relief sought such as, and then give the examples there, but they have to give the ones that are relevant for them, because if they're not changing the setbacks, you don't really need all the setback information, for example. Not that it's bad to have it, but that seems silly if the variance has something totally different to do with something totally different.
So
I'm fine with that if you want to put some language in.
I mean, obviously, the section for the bylaw for which is being requested, that has to be there. And then maybe the next thing is a bullet saying the details on the relief being sought, and then all those things that are such, and then you put such as, and all the other things could be a sub bullet.
I like that.
So basically move that sentence to like this underneath the, right before the property line setback, and the property line setback on there down needs to indent another section.
Here, you said.
All right. So take from property line down to the requested variance, make all those, indent those another section level.
Yeah.
Another subsection or bullet?
Another bullet level. So okay. You keep.
I'm not sure why. Yeah, that's weird. Hold on.
Delete all the way back and hit return. Now try tab there. What happens?
Yeah, that's what I'm confused.
You don't have the shift. You have the shift key on. Yeah, whatever. We can tweak that later.
I'm gonna have to make this look really, really silly for now, I guess. The formatting of this is like I said, it took me a while to get a table of contents in because it is not.
Oh, I had a better idea. If you go select all those things, go up to your menu bar, and underneath where it says View, there's a thing that indents further. That's not quite the one you want, but it'll work for now. Yeah.
View.
So now you can, yeah.
Under Home? Oh, you're saying right under the View? Yeah. I am pressing that. I'm not sure what's going on with this list. What? It's really good.
Right, well,
but we don't need to get. We'll do this.
Don't blame me for that.
Just an aside, Ian. When we went and recodified our zoning bylaws,
yeah,
it was in a Word doc that dated back to the beginning of time. And when the consultants brought the Word doc in, because of the formatting. It was so messed up that they couldn't use it, and they spent half of our budget trying to figure out.
It's got to be the same thing with this because I've made table of contents 100 times in Word, and I've used bulleted lists 100 times in Word, but this one's either possessed by a ghost or
Yeah.
it just doesn't. A lot of it doesn't make sense.
So formatting being embedded in Word documents is I've found to be problematic, especially over the ages,
Always.
as you get new versions of Word that treat them differently.
I think when we get to a place where this, and it might be here now, it will just take me a little more time, is just starting a new one from scratch.
And that's what our consultants never did. They should have retyped our whole bylaw from the get-go, from the bottom to the top, and then they would have, and all those discrepancies when it got translated over to the new version. Remember, Mark, when we did that?
Nightmare.
That was a nightmare. And there's still problems embedded in the old.
Okay, I want to make sure that I got this right. Was it these two as a sub point, or was it this one also as sub point?
That one and the two above it.
This one.
All three of it. Everything except the first line need to be sub bullets.
The sections below for which relief is being requested. Right, all of those are subsections.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, I probably could have just done that.
Yeah, you could have.
Well, still doesn't fix our formatting issues, but
And then let's see.
such as, and then we said we wanted to maybe list some things here.
Let me move that such as into the let's see, properties. Oh, okay, so what you got, including the section of the bylaws being requested and details on the relief sought, such as, or the details on the relief sought and the existing conditions, such as. So put that sentence after relief is being requested, the second line.
And the details.
Yeah, put it right there.
And the details on the. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I see. Yeah, good.
I know what's going on.
Details, yeah.
And now okay. So section the bylaw for which relief is being requested and the details on the existing relief sought and the current conditions.
I don't know about the word existing. Just get rid of the details.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It was supposed to be
Such as.
being requested and the details. Wait. The relief sought and the current conditions, such as, and then that gives you an example of current conditions if you're trying to request a setback relief.
In whatever else you need, right?
Yeah.
So you lost that last one. There's one more then. One more bullet at the bottom, or any other relief sought. I think that's how we worded it, something like that.
Well, now, yeah.
Or any other condition for which relief is sought.
Yeah, sometimes I'm trying to say that you don't have to have the things on the top of the list, but they have to be the ones that are relevant for the relief sought.
Yeah.
Rather than such as, maybe, for example.
Yeah. Either way. Okay. It's good. I like that.
Can someone explain to me 4.3? I'm not following it.
Pursuant to Mass General Law 48, Section 10, the ZBA may impose conditions, safeguards, and limitations both of time and use, including the continued existence of any particular structure, but excluding any conditions, safeguards, or limitations based on the continued ownership of the land or structures to which the variance pertains by the applicant, petitioner, or any owner.
So are we saying if the land changes hands, we can't say that the use disappears?
No.
Geez, you know.
I think actually, does the use stay with the stays with the property, not the or the variance stays with the property, not the owner, correct? I think that may be what that's trying to say. I'm not following it.
Yeah, it's saying it runs with the land.
So here's a condensed version. Ready?
Yep.
Under Mass General Law 40, Section 10, the ZBA may place conditions, safeguards, and limits on a variance, such as time limits, restrictions on use, or requiring certain structures to remain. But it cannot make approval depend on who owns the land or buildings.
Right.
Okay.
So it runs with the land.
All right, that's what it's trying to say. It runs with the land. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that on my first reading.
And the short version is the ZBA can set conditions on the use or duration of a variance, but not on property ownership. Even shorter. Actually, that's an interesting approach to try for the layman's version.
I like the condensed version you just read.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that
it
one.
wouldn't hurt to at least leave it there.
I would still keep in the imposed conditions, safeguards, and limitations, though, just to remind everybody that we can, if you want the variance, we can tell you how you're gonna, what you're gonna get.
Yeah. But, well, no, it'd be impractical. All right, keep going. Now, the applicability. So that means any person aggrieved by a decision or order. They don't need to have any kind of standing.
That's what the law says.
Okay.
So that's to us, right?
To the ZBA. Oh,
Yeah.
May appeal to the ZBA.
Yeah.
All right.
That's to us, but that's not, standing is something that you'd need in court.
But within 30 days is also the state.
Yeah, and that's what happened to a certain individual who lives on, or who owns land on Sarah's Way.
Well, again, so you learn by experience, right? You see what happens to people, and then you go, well, gee, why is that? And then, so it becomes something that you look at more closely when you understand what it means.
I'm going to step away for a couple seconds. Be right back.
Okie dokie.
How far are we here? We're on page 17 of 27. Making progress. Still in 5.2. So the number of applications be submitted, again, we should just jive that with what the planning board did, and then we're all on the same page. Time limit, that's Mass General Law, right?
What's that, Mark?
5.4, time limit for filing, that's Mass General Law, right?
Oh, 5.4.
Time limit for filing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even looking at Ian's screen because it's so small on my screen that I can't read it. So
I
I'm
know,
just-
I hate working on this MacBook.
Okay.
So 5.4 is for the aquifer protection overlay. Oh, I see. I was also quoting Master in Law 41. Okay, I was trying to see if we're quoting multiple time limits, or is this all the time limits, or just those particular chapters of Master in Law?
Yeah, that's just those ones.
And those are for appeals. Let me see. Section 5.1 applicability. Okay, these are for another section of building commission zoning enforcement officer. So these are things that are appeals of the zoning enforcement officers. And I'm just wondering if there's a generic time limit for filing of everything, or is there just these specific ones that have time limits?
Mark, I'm guessing that's for 6.1.
So I did two things with 6.1. One is what I just sent you, Ian, which is bullet points, which
A
is
lot of others.
clear and concise.
Uh-huh.
This is probably,
Did you do one for that like summarizes it as well, I'm guessing? The board will provide public hearing. I'll put it here so others can
oh
read.
yeah, it's not indenting your bullets. So
Oh, do you have different levels of bullets?
yeah, I mean, it had content in a notice must include and then date
Oh,
time.
yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, like this. I can see the black ones from the ones.
Yeah. It gives me kind of like list format. I like stuff to come to me in that. Okay.
How's that look? Were there 4 main
Yeah.
bullet points?
Yeah, that's kind of what I came up with. And then that was a condensed version of what was below.
Yeah.
So basically that is the same thing as 6.1 notice of hearing. It just condensed it some more. It's just less words. But I kind of like the list because what you want people is to kind of read what you want to get.
Yeah, I also, if I'm looking at this is what I want to see.
Yeah, me too.
but maybe also
You just leave the first, right, the enabling, you leave that in. But, you know, without limiting the generality of the foregoing, okay? That's the kind of stuff that makes my hair curl, or that makes my beard go gray, Mark. And then the second one is just a longer version of that. I don't know which you like better. So that's
I'm gonna just do this for now, and that way we can have it there for the record. And
yeah, you should have left the original 6.1 in there too for. Oh, you did. Okay, good. Yep.
Six four one and 642, repeating the thing we discussed for a while earlier about the requirements. I mean, it's out in the presentation section. But
the same language.
It does seem duplicative to some degree, but
yeah, I forget what section that was, but it was the evidence they needed to present section. Let me see.
you know, like 6.4 too. 6.4. That's duplicative because we've talked about that up above. Burden to persuade. Fails or neglects to present sufficient evidence to persuade by preponderance. You know, we already did that, right?
That's redundant, yeah. One of the two's got to go.
Yeah, that was in section 2.6, I think. Then we merged 2.6.7 to 2.6, and that's all identical to what was in the previous section.
So basically what you're saying is, let's see, 2.6. Let's go all the way back at 2.6.
6.7, and then we've turned that got rid of the subheading for 7, I think, and just made it 2.6 and 2 paragraphs. And that was describing the evidence they needed, but it didn't say they were going to present the evidence. This later section is saying they need to present
This is about presentation, but you don't want to repeat it. You'd probably refer back to the earlier part when you make your presentation. Make sure you got all the stuff that we talked about up above.
Yeah, basically the presentation needs to present the evidence in support of section 2.6.
Right. Was it 2.6?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
So both of these, are we saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
641, 642.
Through and
the memorandum is new. What's that really asking for?
all facts relied on take.
My guess, Mark, is you get this from two different places, and they're both meaningful, but how do you blend them together to get one coherent document?
It sounds like they're asking the applicant for a textual description of why they should get the variance, which is different than the evidence. I'm a little confused there. Or is that just a summary of the evidence?
Yeah, that's what I'd say. It's a summary. Boy, Sean didn't get here. Acton must be as bad as Boxborough.
What's that?
Probably
Sean
worse.
made it to the meeting, so he's probably still tied up in a planning board hearing.
Uh,
Yeah, you never know about those planning boards.
Yeah. I don't know. Memorandum. Did you put that in there for any reason or just because it sounded good?
Well, the note says from Mark says it was taken verbatim from the old script, at least the paragraph, the sentence in red.
Really?
But I don't know that we've. I assume that the presentation served. We requested a separate memorandum based on the presentations, or is that basically our minutes?
I'd pare this whole thing back. Presentation to the board. All persons appearing before the board shall make a true and complete presentation of their case. I mean, then refer back to 2.6 as per 2.6. And if you want because I don't know what a memorandum setting forth in detail and facts relied upon by the parties, it would be like a summary maybe, or some.
well, that's what I'm thinking. If you're going for a variance, it's nice to have a narrative telling you.
The narrative. Okay, so you see, that's the thing. Use plain words, right? Narrative.
Okay.
I mean,
Except, isn't that what the board's hearing is trying to develop? The narrative of support for this?
It is, but it's really nice to have something in writing. We're asking for this because when the snow blows and leaks into the basement, I need to put a roof over it to stop the water from getting in, and without it, it'll be a hardship. And I know I only have 10 feet to the property line, but my lot is smaller than most lots in the district, and so please give me the relief, and literal enforcement isn't going to change anything because my neighbor's house is 500 feet away and he won't notice it. That kind of thing.
yeah.
It can be helpful to have somebody explain it in a story, in a story.
Is it a requirement or is it a request?
Sounds like a request. Recommended.
So then that's what I would say. So it belongs in the presentation portion. So presentation to the board. And then the board would request that every application be supported by a narrative or.
I would say this also sounds pretty similar to the staff report that we frequently write.
Yeah, but no, what Mark's saying is they got a story. Everybody's got a story. When they walk into the room, they got a story. I need this because of that, and this is why I need it. They're gonna usually come with that anyway. That's the first thing out of their mouth. Mm-hmm. The big question is, should it be? So it said should be filed with the board before the conclusion of the public hearing. Interesting. Before the conclusion. I mean, I'd want them to walk in the door with that in their hand. And maybe even with their application, file it with the application as like their narrative.
Nice to have it in advance for sure.
In advance, right. Why are they coming here? First question I'll ask Alec, right, is, what's going on? Well, we got a hearing coming up. Well, what's it about? Well, that's it. So I don't mind having it. I'd say we'd recommend it. And then I don't know whether it's part of the presentation to the board because we would have it prior. It would be part of their application packet. I'd rather see in the application packet, Mark, not,
I agree.
certainly not filed with the board before the conclusion of the public hearing. That's a wrap up at that point.
Well,
I'd
I'm
rather
wondering
see
if they were trying to ask the applicant to summarize all the findings of the board.
right, because that's what we do. We summarize our own findings. We summarize what we heard, and, you know. So I don't think it's post. I think it's pre. I'm getting tired though. I had a long night last night. I'm getting spongy. This isn't my best moment.
Well, I think we're only halfway through this thing, so I don't mind calling it a night unless you guys want to keep going.
We're 2/3 of the way through, I think.
Oh, we are? Okay.
I'd rather do this in the morning. A lot of this is easy, right? You know, it's some of the sticky stuff. And there are repetitive things here as I scroll down, you know.
Yeah, maybe we should hit it some more when we're fresh. I think there is some repetitive stuff sneaking around.
Yeah, and also I do like having Sean in on this stuff because he's sharp on that. Why don't we kick the can? I mean, it's just three of us too. I mean,
Totally fine with that.
Just
well,
need
again, there's just three of us here. You know, I'd love to have five of us because five heads has got to be better than three.
I hear you.
What else do we have? Anything?
Just need to open up a hearing for Thinking Flower, but first we need to continue this.
Oh, this is still a hearing. That's right. I'd make a motion to continue this hearing to a later date. Whichever date. What's our next meeting?
9:23. And right now we have an executive session at 7. We have 975 Mass Ave technically starting the public meeting at 7:35. And then we'll have rules and regs and then Thinking Flower some other time during that meeting.
I'd make a motion to continue this hearing to 9:23 at 8.
I would recommend 8.
Yeah, 8 p.m.
You good with that, Michael?
Oh, I'm good with that.
So I'll second it. And any discussion? Hearing none. Mark White.
Would I?
Michael Toops.
Michael Toops, aye.
Mark Barbadoro, aye. So, at the next meeting, Ian, the building commissioner's opinion on 700 Mass Ave zoning. Make sure it gets in the packet.
Yes. 700 Mass Ave zoning. You want it in writing?
Yeah, he wrote a letter. He's got it. So.
Oh yeah, is that what you had called me about?
Yeah, that's
okay,
fine.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
went on vacation. Alec went on vacation. I probably should have just asked Mary.
Yeah, because right after that I also went on vacation. So
Yeah.
all right. 700 Mass Ave zoning, Ed's letter in packet.
Yeah. Just whatever correspondence or whatnot.
All right, and to wrap this up, I'm seeking a motion to notice and open a public hearing for September 23rd at 7:45 p.m. for Thinking Flower, who has applied for a simple use special permit.
Say that again.
I would love her name and address, which I have right here somewhere. Let me get that first.
Oh, you know what that is, Mark?
Nope. I don't know.
So Thinking Flower applied in the mall down by on Mass Ave.
Mark Leonetta's Mall?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So she got a permit to open up a tea shop restaurant, a specialty food shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then so she had a permit, and she, went through all the hoops. Mark went through all the hoops to get the septic and all that stuff squared away, and so she signed a lease. And then one of her things she wanted to do was open up a wine bar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, except for then our building inspector stepped in and said, "Oh, then that's not a specialty food shop. That's a restaurant, and it's not zoned for a restaurant. It's zoned for a specialty food shop."
What kind of food well, we shouldn't even get into this right now, but now I at least have a better idea. But
So what her special permit application is, I'm not sure, but I think they're trying to find a way to not have to change the zoning to allow a liquor license for a specialty food shop. Because he said it says food, doesn't say beverages.
Specifically, alcoholic beverages was, I guess, the main concern.
But is she intending to serve food?
My contention is that she plans on serving food, alcohol. It's going to be kind of a European style where she'll have small bites and coffee during the morning, and then kind of other, more appetizers, dinner, small bites during the evening, along with wine. So,
but
that
I think you can do a restaurant by special permit in that district. No.
And that may be the what she's coming for.
Yeah, that is, I believe, exactly.
Yeah, that sounds like the right thing to do. I don't know if the alcohol's, but if you're serving food. But so can she have sit down? The Board of Health's going to let her have tables and chairs?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a change in a generation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So we are, let me find, I can stop this. So I am seeking a motion to schedule and open a public hearing for Thinking Flower Coffee Shop, Inc., located at 629 Massachusetts Ave, Unit C, for a simple use special permit at September 23rd at 7:45 p.m.
Oh, I'm confused. We don't have that on the agenda, right?
Tonight's agenda?
Is that on the agenda?
No, sorry. I'm seeking a motion to schedule it.
Oh, yeah, you don't need a...
Sorry.
You don't need a motion to schedule.
All right.
Yeah, no problem, Ian. But yeah, we'll just schedule it. That's fine. Glad to know.
I didn't know if
I was going to say that nobody ever comes to us and asks us permission to have a hearing.
The only time you need to do that is when 3 members want to hold a hearing and I don't want to hold it. Then you can have the board vote. But
all right, I appreciate it. Thanks. All right, so just for clarity, I will be putting it at 7:45.
Awesome.
For the next one. In that case, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Michael Toops.
All right.
Second.
All right.